Hey everybody, thanks for dancing with me. I'm Laura and today we are going to be working on some tools I use for jazz improvisation. We're going to be using transitions and bleeding over the phrase. So that's 2 lessons for the price of 1. Get your money's worth. Check it out. Most of the time when we begin to put moves together, we start moves on the traditional beat that you learn them in class, on 1 or the 8. But if you push those moves over so they begin on the 2 or the 3, it can build up a certain amount of tension, which is really nice, and it can line up unexpectedly with the music and hit something that you weren't necessarily expecting to hit. So what we're going to do now is an exercise. It's not really something that I would do for a dance, but I have basically a 2-8 choreo. Fall off the log into a box step, and I have a little 2-beat transition into the next fall off the log, which kind of extends it into a 10-count sequence instead of an 8-count sequence. Math, 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 you'll see. But basically what it does is it moves the fall off the logs from beginning on 8 to beginning on 2 to beginning on 4 to beginning on 6 to beginning on 8. In particular, 2s are my jam right now, y'all. What I want you to notice is when that fall off the log hits and it's not on an 8, how does that feel with the music? When I land in the box step and it's not on 1, how does that line up with the music? And when I transition out of a sequence that doesn't line up in a traditional way into a sequence that does line up in a traditional way, does that have a certain resolution? Does that feel nice? All of these are just ideas that you can play with in your choreography and in your jamming. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's moving around phrases. Play with that. It's super rewarding, can hit the music in a super fun way, which I think is similar to how a lot of musicians hit the music. Next up, we have transitions. I love transitions. For me, if I go from a fall off a log into a box step, chances are you've seen a fall off a log and you've seen a box step. You know what the story is. You still want to do them really well. You want to be rhythmic, you want to have good body movement, but you know the story. However, if I can make a cool transition happen from one to the other, the transition itself kind of adds interest and makes the entrance into the fall off the log or the box step in and of itself a special thing. That resolution from something fancy to something normal can feel really, really good and recognizable. For this next part, I'm going to use the same choreography as last time, fall off a log into a box step, but I'm going to add some spicy transitions that I made up. These are not the only ones. There are infinite different transitions. Have some fun with them. Learn these, make up your own, show me what you've got. I'm going to dance it to music. Feel free to dance along with me. If that's hard, see if you can use your eyes and count along with the music to see where the steps line up. The best dancers use their independent learning muscles. First, we'll go over the transitions themselves. Then we'll work on putting them all together and maybe even stacking transitions one over the other, which will cause the next move to end up being pushed in the phrase, just like the last lesson we did. Oh my gosh, it all comes together. Let's see what it looks like. Stay low. want to get in touch with all of the basic things you already know. What is my posture? What is my bounce? What is my rhythm? And how precise and beautiful can I make that rhythm? Because if those things are really good, then everything else resonates as something really fancy. If those things aren't very good, the fancy things might look like mistakes. If this is tricky for you, don't worry about it. Just keep on working, keep on dancing. It will get in your body. Thanks for dancing with me. Hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I will try to get back to you. If you want to help support my channel, subscribe or head on over to my Patreon. Remember, best way to learn how to dance is to dance.